The feet carry you through life. Every step you take and every road you walk depends on them. Yet in many spiritual attacks, the feet are often the first place to be struck. When dark forces aim to slow you down, to block your journey, or to keep you stuck, they usually begin with the feet. Today we will look at how to spot these hidden attacks and, more importantly, how to break them so you can walk freely along your destined path. To see why the feet are a main target in spiritual attacks, we must look past the physical body. The feet do more than move us in the material world. They also stand for direction, progress, and destiny. Every choice you make, every journey you start, and every milestone you reach needs movement, and movement begins with the feet. If your feet are bound, slowed, or weakened, your whole life moves slowly. That is why many cultures and traditions treat the feet as more than flesh and bone. They are the base of a person's spiritual walk. Think of the feet like the roots of a tree. A tree cannot stand tall and healthy if its roots are damaged, poisoned, or cut. In the same way, when witchcraft hits the feet, it aims to hurt the roots of your life. It tries to stop your growth, to keep you from moving, and to prevent you from flourishing. This is not random. People who work with dark practices know that attacking the feet strikes at your base. If the head is vision and the hands are creation, the feet are destiny. To stop someone from living their destiny, you tie up their feet. The feet also stand for balance. Without proper grounding, without the power to stand, we lose our balance and fall. A person may have strong hands and a clear mind, but if they cannot stand or walk, they remain stuck. Many people who face such attacks say life always holds them back. They take a few steps forward only to be pulled backward. They begin with excitement only to be blocked before they reach their goal. The attack is invisible, but its effect is real. There is a reason many traditions gave rituals for washing or anointing the feet. It was not only about being clean, it was about clearing the path of a person's journey. Feet were washed to remove dark energy, to refresh the spirit, and to prepare a person for the next stage of life. Those who knew about energy understood that feet can carry blessings or burdens. If you study your life, you will find that most blockages can be described through movement. When someone says, "I feel stuck," or "I can't move forward," or "I keep going in circles," those phrases are more than words. They reflect a deeper spiritual truth. Witchcraft aimed at the feet shows itself as stagnation. It is as though invisible chains hold you so that no matter how hard you try, progress stays out of reach. This is why the meaning of the feet cannot be ignored. They connect us to the earth. They bear the weight of every step we take. Hitting the feet is striking the link we have with movement and purpose. Even in dreams, feet are strong images. If you dream of being barefoot in rough places, or you struggle to walk, or you step on sharp things, this can be a sign of attack on your progress. The unconscious reveals things your waking mind does not yet see. To catch such an attack, you must honor the spiritual role of the feet. If you only view them as flesh and bone, you miss the deeper message. When you see them as the pillars of your journey, you will understand why they are often hit. Picture trying to climb a hill with bound feet or run a race with heavy stones tied to your ankles. You will tire quickly and not go far. That is the aim of this type of witchcraft, to use your energy while keeping you in the same place. When you grasp this, you also see that protecting and strengthening your feet means strengthening your whole path. If your feet are light, free, and full of life, your path flows. If your feet are heavy, tired, and chained by unseen forces, you face resistance at every turn. The physical and the spiritual are mixed here. That is why knowing this symbolism is the first step to seeing when an attack is happening. When the feet are hit, your destiny is hit. When the feet are tied, your progress is blocked. When the feet are weakened, your base shakes. To ignore this is to miss one of the most common ways witchcraft stops a person from walking into their true path. The feet are not only for moving, they move you into who you are meant to be. Witchcraft rarely shows itself loudly. It hides in small, strange things that most people ignore or call chance. But the body and spirit speak when something is wrong. When the feet are under attack, the first signs often come as odd physical feelings with no clear medical cause. You may feel sudden heaviness in your legs or pain in the feet that doctors cannot fully explain. The pain may come and go for no obvious reason. It may grow worse when you're about to take an important step in life, and it may ease at other times. The timing often gives a clue because attacks are made to block specific moves in your journey. Another sign is constant tiredness in the feet or legs, as if you have walked a long distance even though you barely moved. You wake and your feet already feel drained. You walk a little and it feels like weights are tied around your ankles. Sometimes the soles burn, itch, or tingle like they are pricked by tiny thorns. These are not always medical issues. They can be spiritual markers meant to weaken your base so you cannot stand strong in hard times. The attack often reaches into dreams because dreams mirror the unseen. Many who face witchcraft on the feet report repeated dreams of walking barefoot on dangerous ground, stepping on glass or thorns, or feeling glued to the earth while danger chases them. Some dream they carry heavy loads while trying to move forward, always straining. These are not random images. They are the spirit telling you that your progress is under attack. If your feet are bound in the dream world, the bond will show up as stuckness in waking life. You may also find repeated injuries to the feet and legs, falls, sprains, cuts, or odd accidents that happen again and again. At first, you laugh them off as clumsiness, but when the pattern repeats, question it. Why always the feet? Why always the part of your body that carries you forward? Repetition is not meaningless. Patterns are signs. When you notice this repeating, it is not mere chance. It is a signal that something unseen is at work. Beyond the body and dreams, emotional and mental signs appear. You may feel that life is in cycles that never change. No matter how hard you work, you stay in the same place. Doors open for others, but close for you. You prepare for a new chance only to feel pulled back at the last moment. A job slips away, a plan fails, a relationship ends, or you are blocked just as you are about to step forward. It is as if an invisible chain holds you from crossing thresholds. The weight of this is heavy. It makes a person feel hopeless, worn out, or cursed. That feeling of always being blocked is not random. It mirrors a force targeting your movement. Sometimes the signs are small, but when you watch closely they become clear. Pay attention when you feel unusually heavy at special times, such as before a trip, a meeting, or a big choice. Notice when your feet ache in ways they never did, or when you dream again and again of walking troubles. See when chances vanish at the last second as though something unseen pulls you back. These are the physical and spiritual signs that show an attack on your movement. There are things you can do to protect and heal your feet both physically and spiritually. Start with simple, steady care. Rest when your feet need rest. Use warm water to soothe tired soles. Soak your feet in clean water and salt to help clear energy that feels stuck. Walk barefoot on safe, natural ground when you can. Let your feet touch the earth to help you feel grounded. Gentle stretches and care help keep the body strong and open to move. Prayer, blessing, and focused words help too. Speak aloud that your feet are free, that no chain holds you, and that your path is open. State your truth clearly. You will move into your destiny. Make a habit of blessing your feet before important steps. A short prayer, a firm statement, or a mindful breathing exercise that centers you. These small acts build spiritual strength. Clean and declutter places where you live and sleep. Negative energy can collect in spaces and make movement hard. Keep your bedroom and work area tidy so your mind and spirit can move freely. Throw away or rid yourself of objects that feel heavy or linked to bad memories and that drag your spirit down. Protect your dreams. Before sleep, ask for clear, safe dreams that show you the next steps you should take. Tell the spirit that your sleep is a time for rest and guidance, not a place for traps. Keep a small, calm ritual before bed, such as reading short positive words, breathing slowly, or saying a short prayer. This helps clear the night. Ask for help from people you trust. Some people find guidance in a spiritual elder, a mentor, a healer, or a trusted friend. A clear-eyed helper can pray with you, give advice, and help you spot patterns you might miss. Do not be ashamed to ask for help. Moving forward often needs a steady hand beside you. Work to keep your mind steady. Fear and doubt drain your energy and make attacks easier. Build small wins to gain confidence. Each small step you take proves you can move. Celebrate these wins, however tiny. Each one loosens the weight on your feet and frees you to take another step. Practice forgiveness. Carrying anger, guilt, or old hurts keeps your feet heavy. When you forgive, even in little ways, you lift loads that make moving hard. Forgiveness is not forgetting, it is choosing not to hold a weight that drags you down. Use clear boundaries in relationships and activity. Some people, places, or tasks can bind your energy. Say no when you need to. Protect your time and your choices. Walking away from draining things keeps your feet free to move toward what matters. If you sense a direct spiritual attack, act with calm and power. Name it and refuse it. Use faith, words, and ritual that match your beliefs to break the hold. Many find strength in simple, firm actions, declaring freedom for their feet, burning a small piece of paper that contains what drains them, or carrying an item that stands for movement, such as a smooth pebble or a small clear symbol in a pocket. Move your body regularly. Exercise, dance, and long walks keep energy flowing. Movement breaks stagnation. Even small steps matter. Walk with intent, and imagine each step clearing the path ahead. Be patient, but be active. Healing and removing blocks can take time. Keep doing the small things that free you. Watch for changes, an easing of pain, clearer dreams, fewer accidents, new chances that last. These are signs the chains are loosening. Remember this, your feet are sacred in their work. They carry you into who you are meant to be. Treat them with care, honor their role, and watch for their signals. When you act with awareness, protection, and steady care, you weaken the grip of forces that try to keep you stuck. You were made to move. Your purpose grows when your feet are free. Keep your feet clean, grounded, and filled with clear intent. Say out loud that you will walk your path. Take tiny steps and keep stepping. Step by step, you will walk into freedom, into your calling, and into the life that waits for you. When your feet come under attack, the signs begin to show, and it is important to understand that not every type of pain is spiritual in nature. Sometimes pain comes from ordinary causes, but when the pain continues for long periods, when no medicine brings relief, when the same troubling dreams return again and again, or when accidents around you keep multiplying, that is when you must begin to look beyond the surface. Witchcraft hides itself because its power rests in secrecy. Once you recognize its presence, you can begin to weaken it. Awareness is the first step of resistance. Once you notice the patterns, you can no longer be tricked into believing it is just chance or bad fortune. You begin to realize that your path, your steps, your foundation are being targeted. These signs, subtle at first, are like a language. The body speaks, dreams speak, repeating events speak. If you dismiss them, the attack strengthens. But if you recognize them, you regain the power to fight back, to stand strong, and to walk forward with authority. Freedom begins when you listen carefully to what your feet are trying to tell you. When witchcraft targets your feet, the signs do not always start from within your body. They often appear first in the surroundings, the invisible leaves marks, and while many people overlook them, the signs are still there for those who pay attention. The ground outside your house, the path you take each day, the entrance you step through daily, all of these can carry messages. Ignoring these details allows interference to go unnoticed, but if you train yourself to observe, you will notice what does not belong. One of the clearest signals is the sudden appearance of strange powders or substances around areas where you walk. It could be ashes scattered at your doorstep, soil spread in strange shapes, or a sticky residue that feels out of place. These are not random, they are placed with intent. In many spiritual practices, powders are used to carry hidden energy, to mark spaces, and to bind movement. Crossing over them without knowing means carrying that influence with you, and because your feet directly touch the ground, they absorb it most powerfully. There are also other environmental signs. You may find sharp items or harmful objects placed near your doorway or along paths you normally walk. Broken glass, pins, or nails appearing again and again are not coincidences. Such objects are used as carriers of energy, symbols of harm meant to slow down or weaken your steps. Many people notice that no matter how often they clean, these things reappear. This repetition is not an accident, but a mark of deliberate intent. Another strange sign is the sudden appearance of footprints where they do not belong. You may notice footprints that lead toward your entrance but never return, or markings that look like someone walked barefoot on the ground outside without reason. These are not just physical marks, but energetic imprints, left behind after secret rituals. Doorways are powerful because they represent both beginnings and endings, the place where you step into and out of spaces. When your feet are targeted, thresholds become vulnerable points. That is why they are chosen for attack. Another way these signs reveal themselves is through accidents that repeat in the same location. If you find yourself often tripping, dropping objects, or stumbling in one specific place in your home, it may not be mere clumsiness. Energy lingers in certain areas, and when it is heavy or hostile, it disrupts your natural flow. What looks like a normal misstep may actually be your body reacting to the unseen interference left behind. There are also strange sensations that cannot be explained with the physical eye. For example, you may feel sudden heaviness in your feet when you walk across a certain spot, or you might sense a coldness rising from the ground. Some people notice they feel unusually drained after leaving their house or after passing a specific area. Pets may also behave strangely, refusing to cross thresholds, barking at empty spaces, or avoiding certain paths. Children might become restless or unsettled in those same areas. Animals and children sense energies that adults often dismiss, and their behavior is often more accurate than logical reasoning. When you put these signs together, a picture begins to form. A powder at the entrance, unusual objects in your path, repeated accidents, strange sensations, animals acting restless. They may seem small on their own, but together they reveal interference aimed at your steps. The feet are constantly in touch with the ground, so if that ground is charged with negative energy, Every step becomes a doorway for that influence to enter. This is why mindfulness is necessary. You cannot move through life with your eyes closed. You must notice the details and ask yourself questions. Why does this sharp object always appear where I walk? Why do I stumble in the same spot again and again? Why is this powder near my door? Why do I feel drained when leaving home? Such questions open your awareness, and awareness is the first line of defense. The atmosphere around you also carries messages. A house under spiritual attack feels different. The air may feel heavy, as though something resists your presence. The space near your entrance may seem charged or hostile. This is not just imagination. It is the energy left behind from harmful intentions. When rituals are performed against you, they leave a residue, and that residue clings to the spaces where you walk. Because your feet are the first part of your body to touch the ground, they are the first to absorb this atmosphere. Recognizing these signs is important because once you see them, deception ends. Witchcraft relies on hiding itself. It grows stronger when you dismiss the signs as nothing. But once your senses open, once you acknowledge what is happening, the unseen begins to lose its power. You cannot fight what you refuse to see, but the moment you notice, you take back authority. Every step you take is sacred, and the ground beneath you must be protected. When witchcraft strikes at the feet, it does not only affect the body or environment. It digs deeper, reaching the mind and emotions, weaving invisible chains that keep a person trapped without them realizing it. The feet represent movement, progress, and direction. When these are blocked, life begins to feel like a cycle of delay and stagnation. You may have energy, determination, and plans, but at the moment of action, something stops you. This repeated blockage does not remain external. Over time, it begins to shape how you see yourself. That is, where the deeper harm takes root. Many people live under this type of influence for years without identifying it. They notice that every attempt to move forward collapses. They work hard, but the result is the same. At first, they blame other people or external conditions, but eventually they start to believe the problem is within themselves. They think perhaps they are not worthy of success, or that life is destined to remain difficult. This is how the chains tighten. The attack begins to create doubt in the mind. It convinces the spirit that progress is impossible, that moving forward is hopeless, and that your steps are too weak to carry you. The emotional weight of this is heavy. Imagine pushing forward repeatedly, only to be thrown back to the same starting point each time. Frustration builds, discouragement grows, and despair follows. With time, motivation fades. Some people eventually stop trying altogether because disappointment has trained them to expect failure. This is one of the most destructive parts of such attacks. They do not only block your path, they train you to accept being stuck. You can even hear it in the language people use when caught in this trap. They say, "Every time I try, something goes wrong," or "No matter what I do, I end up back at the beginning," or "It seems like I can never move forward." These words are not casual. They reveal the inner reality of a person who feels bound at the level of destiny. Repeating those words reinforces the chains that already exist. Even relationships are not free from this influence. When you constantly feel blocked, you may withdraw from others. You avoid opportunities, isolate yourself, and hesitate to commit to anything new. The fear of repeating painful cycles makes you resist change. This way, the attack spreads from your feet into every area of life because it convinces you to remain still. For many, this creates a lasting sense of heaviness in life. Days feel longer, burdens seem heavier, and joy feels distant. It is as if something presses down on the spirit, holding it down, keeping it from rising. The outward signs of such witchcraft matter, but the inner signs reveal even more. When your mind whispers that there is no point in trying, when your heart feels drained before you even start, when your spirit is stuck in a place of waiting that never seems to end. These are the deeper symptoms of interference. It also matters to notice how this shapes your choices. A person whose feet are attacked often feels unsure which way to turn. They pause at crossroads, uncertain which step is right. And when they finally move, the path may fall away. This repeating pattern trains them to fear choosing, to distrust their own gut, and to doubt their ability to go forward. The psychological trap is powerful because it convinces the person the problem is inside them instead of showing that an outside force is working against their progress. This is why awareness is so vital. If you understand these feelings of stagnation and hopelessness are not natural but part of an attack aimed at your foundation, you can resist the urge to give in. The moment you name what is happening, you weaken its grip on your mind. When you see that discouragement, repeated setbacks, and the sense of being stuck are linked to interference at the level of defeat, you start to separate yourself from the lie that you are powerless. The emotional and mental chains are often stronger than the physical ones because they live in the mind. If the body is bound but the mind is free, a person can still fight, resist, and seek release. But if the mind is bound, even a free body will not move. This is why witchcraft against the feet often comes with heavy emotions and mental despair. It ensures that even when physical signs are removed, the person may still remain trapped in the memory of being stuck. To recognize this is the start of freedom. When you see that feelings of hopelessness, delay, and fear of progress are not natural, you can take back authority over your way. The attack may aim at your feet, but your spirit decides whether you keep walking. The chains placed on your steps can only hold you if you accept them as your fate. When you understand that the feet are a target of witchcraft, the next step is learning how to cleanse and guard them. It is not enough to merely spot the signs. Recognition must be followed by action. The feet carry you through every season of life. When they are spiritually weighed down, your journey slows. But just as attacks leave marks, you can restore balance, purify the ground beneath you, and reclaim strength in every step. Cleansing the feet is both symbolic and practical. The oldest and most universal method is washing the feet. Water has long been seen as a purifier, a carrier of energy, and a remover of burdens. When you put your feet in water, you are not only cleaning the skin. You invite the heaviness, the negative energy, the unseen interference to be drawn out. The water itself matters. Adding natural elements like salt, herbs, or a few drops of oil turns it into a spiritual bath. Salt, in particular, has been used to neutralize harmful energy. It grounds the spirit, breaks stagnant vibrations, and restores equilibrium. Herbs such as basil, sage, or rosemary have cleansing effects beyond the physical. They protect the aura around the body and strengthen the energy that surrounds your steps. As you wash your feet, it is not only the act itself that matters, but also the intention. The mind must be present. You can say words of power, prayers, or affirmations as you cleanse, directing your spirit to release what does not belong. Visualize the water drawing out darkness, heaviness, and blockages, leaving your feet light, refreshed, and free. This mix of physical act, natural elements, and focused intention is strong because it unites body, mind, and spirit. Beyond cleansing, grounding is key. The feet connect you to the earth, and when they are under attack, that connection can feel weak or disturbed. Spending time barefoot on natural ground, grass, soil, sand, or stone, lets the body discharge stuck energy and absorb the stabilizing frequency of the earth. This practice is simple but deeply effective. When you walk mindfully on natural ground, you remind your spirit of its roots, strengthen your balance, and build a shield that makes it harder for negative energy to cling. Another form of protection is using oils or balms on the feet. Just as warriors once prepared their bodies before battle, anointing the feet prepares you for life's fights. Natural oils like olive or coconut oil, when blessed with words of strength and purpose, act as spiritual armor. Rubbing them into the soles creates a protective seal. Some add essential oils like frankincense, lavender, or myrrh, each carrying vibrations of purification, peace, and fortitude. It is not mere superstition, but a symbol. The act tells your spirit that every step from this moment on is guarded. Protection also comes from spoken words. Words are vibrations, and when repeated with focus, they shape energy. Affirmations or prayers directed at the feet can become a shield. Saying aloud, "Every step I take is protected," or "My path is clear, my steps are free," may sound simple, but they realign the spirit to resist interference. Just as negative words can bind, positive words can release. When you speak protection over your feet daily, you train your energy to walk with strength rather than fear. It is also important to watch the places where you step. Not all ground holds the same energy. Some areas are heavy with the residue of anger, conflict, or ritual. If you feel recurring discomfort or heaviness walking through a specific place, trust that instinct. Avoiding harmful environments is also a form of protection. Not every fight needs to be faced head-on. Sometimes wisdom lies in choosing the ground you walk on. Rituals of cleansing and protection should not be one-time events. Just as feet become dirty after walking, the energy around them can become burdened through daily living. Cleansing is a practice, a rhythm, whether weekly, monthly, or at whatever interval you set. Regular attention to the feet prevents interference from building up unnoticed. This rhythm also deepens the bond between body and spirit, reminding you to care for the very foundation of your journey. While the feet are the focus, protecting them extends to the whole path of your life. When you care for your steps, you symbolically care for your progress, your direction, and your destiny. You remind yourself that your journey matters, that each step has meaning, and that nothing has the right to interfere with your movement. This awareness itself becomes a shield because it keeps the attack from going unseen. The more aware you are, the less power the attack holds. Through cleansing, grounding, anointing, speaking protection, and choosing your path wisely, the feet become more than a target. They become a source of strength. You are no longer walking under hidden chains, but stepping forward with clarity and freedom. The power to guard your steps has always been in your hands because no one else can walk your path for you. To destroy an attack aimed at your feet, you must go beyond cleansing and protection. Cleansing removes residue. Protection shields you from future harm, but destruction breaks the root of the interference so it cannot return to bind you again. Witchcraft aimed at the feet is like a chain fastened to your progress. If you only polish that chain, it may look less menacing, but it remains. Destruction is the act of shattering it completely, so you are no longer bound to cycles of delay, stagnation, or blocked ways. The first requirement is intention. Nothing in the spiritual realm can be undone without clear direction of the mind. If you face the problem with fear or doubt, you feed it. But if you confront it with certainty that it has no power over you, its hold begins to dissolve. The feet may have carried this interference for a long time, but once you stand firm in the choice to break it, the energy shifts. Intention is like fire. It burns what should not be. Fire itself is also a strong tool. Across many traditions, fire is used to destroy and to purify. If you have found objects, powders, or substances tied to an attack, the most effective way to neutralize them is to burn them. Fire changes matter and releases energy, leaving only ash. This way, you do not simply remove the harmful item. You erase its purpose. Some choose to combine fire with words of release, speaking aloud that every chain placed on their steps is broken. When you act with clear intent, when you use tools like water, earth, oils, words, and fire, you do more than resist. You reclaim your journey. These actions work together. Cleansing clears what clings to the steps. Grounding restores the connection to the earth. Anointing creates a seal. Speaking protection trains the spirit. Burning destructive items can prevent their return. Together, these steps remove the footholds that allowed the attack to persist. Finally, remember that healing the feet also heals movement in life. When you restore the foundation, the rest of your path follows. You start to notice new doors, fresh momentum, and clearer direction. The memory of being stuck begins to fade because your steps now carry new energy. You move differently because you were changed at the root. Keep tending to your feet, keep speaking strength over them, and keep choosing the ground you walk upon. In doing so, you guard your journey, and you invite a life that moves forward with purpose and peace. Every barrier placed against your path is consumed and turned into nothing. The outer fire reflects the fire inside that speaks freedom. Prayer and words of focus carry equal strength. Just as curses are spoken to trap, words can be spoken to tear down. When you declare that your path is clear, that no weapon built against your steps will last, you are not just speaking words, you are shaping the very air around you. Words are vibrations, and vibrations move matter. Repeated declarations of release build a power that grows until no resistance can hold on. In this way, your own voice rises like a weapon in your hands. There is also the force of movement. When an attack seeks to freeze you in place, one of the strongest answers is to move with intention. Walk, dance, or run with purpose. Each step says, you will not be trapped. The body remembers its patterns, and when you keep moving, even when held back, you rewrite the memory of both body and spirit to refuse stillness. Even the smallest step becomes a shout of defiance. You tell the invisible chains, I am not tied. I move, I rise, I live. Visualization also holds deep power. The mind is a builder of reality. When you see yourself snapping the chains around your feet, your energy joins with that vision of freedom. Close your eyes and watch the bonds breaking into dust. Picture your feet shining with bright light. See every step you take leaving trails of fire and strength behind you. The more clearly you imagine it, the deeper your spirit accepts it as reality. Once the inner self accepts it, the outer world begins to follow. But breaking an attack is not only about cutting away harm. It is about taking back what was lost. When your feet were tied, opportunities were missed, moments were wasted, and forward motion was slowed. When you destroy the chains, you must call back what belongs to you. Declare that your path is given back, that wasted years are changed into years of growth, that every lost chance returns with greater power. Breaking the chains removes the weight, but reclaiming fills the space with blessing. If you do not fill that space, the emptiness can be struck again. It is also vital to understand that breaking requires persistence. Witchcraft and dark forces often move in circles, and sometimes breaking one layer reveals another hidden beneath. Do not lose hope if the resistance rises again. Keep cleansing, keep speaking, keep burning what has no right to stay. Each act of persistence weakens the power until it is destroyed fully. Just as a tree root cannot be pulled with one attempt, some attacks need steady pulling again and again. But the ending is certain once the root is torn away. It cannot return to life. When the chains are broken, the change is clear. You feel light, as though the earth itself is softer below your feet. Your steps flow with ease. Energy runs without blockage. Doors that once slammed shut begin to open without force. Movement feels natural again, as though the wind itself is carrying you forward. This is the gift of persistence, to walk free without hidden chains pressing on you. To destroy the attack set against your steps is to declare with body, mind, and spirit that nothing has the right to hold you back. Your road is yours, and every step you take moves you forward without resistance. The strength of spoken truth cannot be ignored. Each time you open your mouth and speak blessing, the air bends to that sound. Think of how music shifts moods and how simple sounds stir memory. Words are more than sound, they are forces. When you say that your life is free, the vibrations echo through your own body. They move through your bones, through your skin, and through the unseen layers of energy that surround you. Your own voice begins to train your body to expect freedom. The more you repeat it, the more your spirit treats it as law. Even when darkness tries to whisper lies, your repeated truth rises louder. Over time, your declarations build like stones forming a road, and you find yourself walking on the very words you once spoke. Movement also breaks what words alone sometimes cannot. To stand still is to allow the chains to pretend they have power, but to take even a small step is to prove that power false. When you stretch your hands, when you walk in circles with intention, when you move your body as a sign of freedom, you create a rhythm that rejects captivity. Every cell in your body begins to record that movement. The memory of stagnation is erased, and the memory of freedom is written. This is why dance has been used in every culture as a form of worship and breaking. The steps of the body are steps of the spirit. When your body learns to move even under pressure, your inner life learns to rise even under attack. The mind must also be trained to picture the release before it appears. What you see in the mind is like a seed planted in the unseen soil of reality. If you only see yourself tied, you feed the tie. But if you choose to see yourself breaking out, you give life to release. Picture yourself walking a path filled with open doors. See the chains turning to dust at every step. See the ground shining where your feet touch. The stronger your inner vision, the faster your outer steps change. This is not imagination without power. This is the creative design of the mind, built to form reality through vision and belief. And remember, when you break, you must also restore. Many lose years under attack. Dreams are paused. Doors remain shut. When the chains finally break, do not only rejoice in being free. Call back the things that were taken. Speak that your lost time is returned with interest. Speak that blessings are multiplied where curses once stood. Speak that all delay is transformed into acceleration. Without reclaiming, the emptiness left behind can become another target. But when you fill it with blessing, when you cover it with light, there is no space left for darkness. Persistence is the final key. Many battles are not won with one strike. Some are layers built over time, and each layer must be broken until nothing remains. It may feel heavy at first, it may seem endless, but each step you take is progress. Every repeated prayer is another cut in the rope. Every word spoken in truth is another crack in the chain, until at last the whole attack crumbles, and when it falls, it cannot rise again. That is the promise of persistence. When you reach that place of full release, you will know it. The air feels different. The pressure is gone. What was once heavy feels weightless. You no longer doubt your steps. You move forward without fear of falling back. The road clears, doors open, and opportunities flow in like rivers breaking through dams. And you will know without question that the battle was worth every moment. To destroy the attack is to claim your rightful walk, to live in the truth that no hidden chain has power over you, to believe with every breath that your steps are blessed and unstoppable.